Good morning, everybody. It's Stas here. Welcome to the October 1st, 2021 morning update video. Today, as always, we're going to break down the future, some stocks, some charts, my thoughts on the markets, what I'm looking to do in the markets today, plus more. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, and let's get right into the video. And by the way, I'm going to be uploading this video onto YouTube for everybody on YouTube to get a little bit of a taste of what we do on Patreon every single morning. I make these videos every morning on Patreon going over what we're going to discuss today, my plans and so forth. And I also post my real-time buys, sells, call-outs, moves I'm making. You get private Discord access plus more. So if you guys are interested in joining the Patreon today, October 1st, and the first of every month for that matter, is the best time to sign up because you get the full month and then you can decide if you want to continue your membership, cancel it, do whatever. Check it out. It's on Patreon, all the stuff linked right down below. And let's get right into the video. So right now, we are seeing a bit of a rally in the S&P 500, right? And before we even get into that, let's see what the futures are doing. It's currently 8:15 a.m. on the East Coast. We have about an hour, 15 minutes left until the opening bell, and we have the S&P futures up 0.3%. Let's pop that up a bit. They're up 14 points, up about 0.3%. Like I said, we have the NASDAQ 100 futures. Those are up, let's see here, guys, about 0.2%, up 30 points. And we have the Dow futures. Let's pop those up. They're up about 135 points right now. They're up 0.4%. And there's a commonality between all of these futures, right? The Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ 100 futures. All of them, they recently hit lows, I believe last night when we were sleeping, guys. The futures were bleeding. So they hit a low. The Dow hit 33,383, and now we're seeing a relief rally. Same thing with the S&P futures. Those hit, let's see here, 42.60. Now we're rallying up to about 43.13. Gosh, that's actually a big drop that we saw. What the heck? That was a 50-point difference. There is a 50-point difference between where we were last night to where we are now. That's a 1.2% difference. And the NASDAQ 100 futures, they got to a low point of, let's see here, 14,552. Now we're trading at about 14.72. Oh my goodness, that's a big drop. But overall, we're seeing a bit of a relief rally. That is the commonality here. And another thing worth mentioning is all of these are still well within their downtrend, right? I mean, look here at SPY on the 20-day chart. What we're noticing is the head and shoulder, we called it out, it played out beautifully, and we ended up taking out the lows from the 20th of September in yesterday's session. We hit about 428, and then pre-market today, we got to another low, which I just showed you guys in the futures. SPY got to about 425.65. Now we're rallying back over 428, which is a good sign for the bulls, which was the low from yesterday and from 10 days ago, 11 days ago, but we're still overall in the downtrend. So yes, it's good for the bulls that we're seeing this relief rally, but it very well could be a bull trap considering we're not out of the moving averages yet. We're seeing a death cross, and it's just simply a relief rally after being very oversold. So it could be a bull trap. Keep that in mind as we're heading into the last session here on Friday. And typically on Fridays, guys, I always talk about this. I don't really do anything crazy, especially if I've had a good week, which this week I had a good week. I covered, closed my covered calls. I ended up, what else did I do here? So my watch just buzzed. It distracted me. I closed my covered calls on some stocks. I sold out of Sofi, sold out of Visa, made some good money there. And now I'm kind of just sitting back, chilling. I have open positions like DraftKings, Upwork, Wynn Resorts, Boston Beer Company. What else do I got here? I'm forgetting. Upwork. So I got a lot of these open positions, and who knows? Maybe if the market presents something today, I might end up buying. But as of now, all I'm really looking to do today is buy a little bit of GDX, which is a gold miners ETF, which is down a ton. If you guys remember, we covered it recently. It is actually at a 52-week low, and my average cost on this is at about $35. So I'm going to add a little bit today, average down, and just continue buying a little bit and keep it right around 5% of my portfolio. That is the goal with GDX. But other than that, I'm not really looking to do anything crazy. And going back to QQQ, you guys can see here, it's very similar to SPY. We're seeing a bit of a rally, could be a bull trap. So watch what it does right here by the 50 moving average on this 20-day chart and right around 360. That is a critical spot for QQQ. So I'm going to put an alert here. Mark is at or above $360 per share. I want to get alerted if it breaks out of there. If it does, we could end up seeing some sort of rally. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Drop me a comment down below. Make sure to hit the like button if you all are enjoying the video. The markets are rocky, man. This is why you need to have some cash. You got to have a game plan for when the markets are selling off and put that game plan to work when the markets do start selling off, which is what we've been seeing here. So let's talk a little bit about, I almost forgot to mention, the government shutdown. This could be a reason why the markets are rallying a little bit pre-market, probably not. But President Joe Biden on Thursday evening signed a deal the House and the Senate passed earlier in the day to avert a government shutdown. If you guys didn't realize, the government was set to shut down, I believe, today or yesterday. And that would have affected hundreds of thousands of federal workers and slammed an economy still struggling to recover from the pandemic. And all of this with just hours left to stave off a crisis. So they did that. Biden signed a little deal. I think the government will now remain open until early December. I think December 8th was the date. I could be wrong on that, but it's early December for sure. So that's a good sign in the very short term here. And we got some news out of Merck that they're doing some antibody tests. Let me see this here. MRK is ripping. You can see the stock was literally $70 back on the 20th of September. Now it's up from 74 yesterday to now 81. The stock is up 8-9% overnight, and from $70 back in the end of September, it is up 13%. So let's read a little bit about what's going on with Merck right now. Merck says COVID-19 oral antiviral reduced risk of hospitalization or death by about 50% in phase 3 trial. They seek emergency use in the U.S. as soon as possible. So what is this exactly? It's not a vaccine, right? I'm not a medical guy at all, guys, so I'm kind of dumb when it comes to this stuff. But Merck COVID-19 okay, it's not a vaccine. Oral antiviral cuts risk of hospitalization. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Death by 50%. So this is good stuff around Merck in the short term here, causing the stock to go bananas. I mean, pop up the 4-hour chart and you guys will see now that we're seeing this big 9-10% push in the pre-market, we're now at a multi-month high on Merck stock. I mean, this has been a stock that, no pun intended, has gotten merked. I mean, it went from $83 to $72. It was bouncing around 80 to 70. It hit $70 most recently at about the end of September. So it got very oversold. It hit a 4-hour low, and now we're at a multi-month high. I mean, the last time Merck was at these levels was back in, let's see here, probably a year ago. Yeah, close to a year ago, we were at the 80s. So watch out for MRK. There's a lot of volatility with this one, but we could get some short-term moves, maybe on the dip. Let's say it goes down to 78, 79. We consolidate a little bit, maybe make a rally off of that. So watch out for MRK, Merck & Co., and the airlines. The airlines are looking good today. LUV, which is probably my favorite one, Southwest Airlines. This one's up about almost $2 per share in the pre-market. You can see we had a nice rally out of the moving averages. We hit about $54 a couple days ago. Then we pulled back to $51, which was a really big test for the stock because that is where it was going to test the uptrend, and it ended up holding that as a higher low. Tested the uptrend, bounced right off of it. Uptrend's continuing. It's looking solid. And I believe we got some news that they upped their price, or one of these guys. Yeah, JP Morgan upgraded Southwest to overweight, raises price target to $70 per share. And I mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. But I feel like these are moving inversely to the COVID cases. At least that's kind of what I got from looking at the COVID case chart for the USA, that is. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but ever since the middle of September, early mid-September, COVID cases have been dropping, and that is when these stocks started taking off. LUV from early mid-September, it went from 47 to 55, so it started taking off. And now, if these cases continue going down, which I'm hoping for, no one knows what's going to happen, but I think there's a chance they go down a little bit more. I think LUV is going to take off, especially if we start taking out the high from earlier in the week, 53, 54, 55. This could see a nice breakout. Same with AAL and DAL for that matter. These are all it's all similar thinking with these because they're all airlines at the end of the day. And the technicals look very similar. This one's breaking out. Golden Cross, it's moving out of the moving averages. We're actually seeing a pop this morning in the pre-market. We're trading above the lows from yesterday. So these are very good signs that the stocks are moving. DAL, very similar, breaking out. Golden Cross, holding the moving averages on the 4-hour. This is looking awesome. And another thing worth mentioning is these stocks report earnings in about 2 weeks. DAL reports on the 13th of this month. AAL reports, let's see here, on the 21st of this month. LUV reports on the 21st of this month as well. So keep your eyes on those. Marriott's another one, MAR, that is doing well this morning. It's up about $2 per share so far. And just like the airlines, I feel like this one started breaking out early September as well. And it's actually moving past the highs. It has been from the highs, breaking past those highs from the end of July. You can see that at 149. We just hit 156 earlier this week, or that was last week. And now we're pulling back a bit. We're testing 150 again, right around that 50 moving average on this 4-hour chart at a higher low. And we're seeing a nice pop of almost $2 in the pre-market. So I want to see if this move on Marriott continues. I think it could. And the targets I have in the short term are 160 from back in. That was resistance back in February. I'm also looking at the high from last week at about 155. So keep your eyes out on these stocks, guys. Ford is another one, ticker symbol F. This one ended up breaking out recently. We're seeing it's moving out of the wedge, the moving averages. We're seeing a golden cross, and we got a bit overheated at 1490. And we got down to about 14, so we corrected about, well, it's not really a correction, but we saw a bit of a pullback of 6%. And now pre-market, Ford's up 10 cents. It's moving up, breaking that EMA, holding a higher low above the 50 SMA. So I think this could end up being a breakout play. I mean, it's already breaking out, but this could be a buy the dip within the breakout, if that makes any sense. And as always, please, guys, do your own research, your own due diligence. As always, Sofi is another one that is looking pretty decent today. It's moving up a little bit, about 11 cents right now in the pre-market. It's trying to hold a higher low here at about $15.90, $16 per share. And I'm focusing on this to see if it's a re-entry opportunity for me. As you all know, I bought this after they reported earnings. My average cost was $14.86. I ended up selling earlier this week at about $17.70. Made a lot of money on that. Sold covered calls, which I ended up losing a little bit of money on. But it doesn't matter because I ended up making back a lot of the money from the premium that I lost in terms of when I ended up selling at a higher price with the shares. And I talked about this before. I don't want to dive deeper into it, but you guys on my Patreon, you know all the moves I make in real time, so you know what I'm talking about, right? So keep your eyes on Sofi, guys. If it starts breaking out mid-16s, this could be a play in the near term. So that's pretty much it. I mean, we talked about Merck, the airlines, Marriott, Ford, Sofi. I'm looking at a couple of other stocks to average in on, to buy more of. DraftKings is one of them that I'm in right now. I've been buying. My average is a little bit over $50 per share. Another one that I want to buy more of is Upwork. My average is in the 47s. Holy crap, Upwork is moving, man. What is going on here? Upwork is moving. Let me see if that's just a glitch. Anyway, Upwork is moving. Wynn Resorts is another one that I have faith in over the next coming months, even though China's going nuts. Yeah, Upwork is moving. I'm checking my Yahoo Finance app right now. It's up 4% pre-market. Not too bad. I'll take it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I almost forgot to mention, Adobe is another swing that I'm in right now, which I'm in at about 582. I want to average more if it starts dropping. So these are some stocks, guys, that I'm involved with, some thoughts on the markets, a little bit of what I'm doing. So that's it. If you all enjoyed it, hit the like button, drop me a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to join this Patreon, my Patreon page, which I'm making videos like this for every single morning, check out the link down below. I also post my buys, my sells, my call outs. I post literally everything I'm doing in the markets, from options, selling covered calls, buying puts, whatever I'm doing there, long-term investments, trades. I post them literally directly onto Patreon when I make the moves, and I let you guys know. So check it out. It's linked down below if you guys are interested. Make sure to also get your free money from M1 Finance, from Webull, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's it. I'll wrap it up here. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching again. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there. Peace out.